Hey guys, welcome back to Biscuits Total War. This is Biscuits giving you the part 2 of the replay between the Heaven Clan versus the Titans Clan. Now if you watched the episode the other day, you would have noticed that both myself and good old Admiral Douchebag managed to bring home a nice victory against Cleo and Mohammed. Of course they wanted a rematch, and of course they enlisted help. They brought in the one and only Beasts to give them an extra bit of oomph. And of course we enlisted a good friend, Lucius, to join us in an epic 3 versus 3 Heaven versus Titans online battle. And to try and make this replay even more special, we've got Elita from the Heaven Clan here joining me on this commentary video. I appreciate it's not live, but hopefully we're going to try something brand new for the channel and hopefully you guys will dig it. So Elita, what are your thoughts at the moment?
Hey guys, my thoughts at the moment, I really think this one's going to be a close battle, or a really challenging battle. I mean, if we look at the enemy team here, we've got Cleo from the Greek clan, we've got Beast, and we've got Mo from Titans. I mean, these are some of the very players playing Rome Total War 31K at the moment. Every time I see these three in a team, I know I'm probably not going to win the battle I'm in, so I usually aim to just perform well, because these three are just absolutely outstanding players in all areas, and any battle against them is extremely challenging, but they're all great guys as well, so I think you guys are in for one hell of a challenge, to be honest. And then you've got Admiral. Admiral's an outstanding player. I honestly think he would be Heaven's most rapidly improving player, in my opinion. Any battle with Admiral is always an enjoyable one. I find Admiral's an excellent player. He's an outstanding player. He learns so quickly, and he's just absolutely really brilliant to work with. And I mean, then we've got Lucius on the other wing with the Greeks here. Lucius is a seasoned, experienced player. He works well as a team. He adapts to the situation. And he's good with the Greeks as well. So, and then of course it's you, and I mean you've got plenty of experience all around the board, and you're a great team player. So I think, to be honest, this is a good Heaven team. This is one of the best Heaven teams you could produce. But you're again against some of the very best players on Rome Total War Day. So I think it will be a very challenging battle for Heaven. We'll see what happens, I suppose. Shall we unpause and get started?
Yeah, let's crack it on. So whilst it's going on, all of our builds, I'd say, are fairly standard, but one of the builds which isn't standard is Lucius's builds. Now, when Lucius brings the Greeks, he doesn't like to bring your standard 20 gold attack Spartans. He likes to often spicing it up, maybe with some Jav, Cav, bits and pieces that you wouldn't normally see. But it's one thing that he's been doing quite recently, he's bringing loads of hoplites, or armoured hoplites. So I'm not sure how that's going to fare against the Macedonians. You got any thoughts on that, Elite?
I personally, don't think armoured hoplites should be make up half your forces. To be honest, I think if you're going to bring armoured hoplites, I think, say for instance you're faced with the likes of Carthage or something like that, you might bring 3 of them just to add numbers, but you really want your forces to be made up of the Spartans. The armoured hoplites are decent, but I mean their armour value is pretty high, but they just get beat by the numbers of Royal Pikemen, and they are no match for Urban Cohort. So I think this many armoured hoplites is not great. Lucius is a very good player, and he does make opportunities work for him, but I can't see 8 armoured hoplites working for him very well in this fight. I mean, I might be wrong, but that's just my estimation. If I'd been in his position, I would have had more Spartans. Perhaps another 3 Spartans, or something like that. 3 or 4 Spartans rather than 8 armoured hoplites, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. We'll see what he does, I suppose.
Cool. Well, what I'll do now, I'll just pause it just for a couple of moments, just to actually have a look at what Beast's up to now. Now, whilst we were talking, you might have noticed that Beast, he's the centre player here. He zoomed in really aggressively, pushing hard on the Admiral Douchebag. Now that's one thing that Beast likes to do. If he doesn't rush, he does bring the battle straight to you, so you've got to think on your feet exactly what you're going to be doing. Now Admiral Douchebag has done something really good here. He's put his guys into Studo. That's to try and nullify the Peeler, But the only thing that's going to happen now by doing that, he's going to almost anchor his army in the centre by putting those guys into Studo. And what you can just about see now, I'll just unpause it for literally about 2 seconds, that Beast is now shifting his army to the one side, as you can see here. As he's shifting that army, let's pause it again, that's going to mean it's going to outposition Admiral Douchebag, because Admiral Douchebag is going to be really hard to try and counter that because his guys are in Testudo. So I'm at about the 500 mark now at the moment, Elite. Are you on the same part at the moment?
I'm 489. Hold on, I'll just speed her up. Yeah, hold on. Yep, 502. Here we go. So I'll try to the same place here.
Great. So we can see that I'm coming here around the flank here. My idea is I'm going to try and meet up with Admiral Douchebag, try and get a nice kind of like L shape here of our army, and hopefully I can try and push back Mohammed, who's in front of me. But of course, I don't think they're going to fall for that trick. You'll see exactly what they're going to do now, and they're going to try and counter us. What are your thoughts at the moment, Elite? Any ideas at the moment?
Well, like you said, like with these tests here from Admiral, he's forced sort of hold in the centre here. And as you can see, like I just like to point out, with Beast, the way Beast plays, it's very aggressive, but it's all very calculated and measured. So like he doesn't just go in with no idea. But Beast tends to go in and get into your face in the battle, and what he does is he gets you kind of worrying about your position or if you're making the right moves, and almost psychological what he does when he plays you, because Beast never usually goes at you frontal. He will shift wings the flanks and he'll try and divide your attention, and we can see he's doing this now because he's shifting around to the flank. And what I'm guessing what Beast is going to try and do here, they're going to try and get round the flank of Admiral, or he's going to try and force the Greek armoured hoplites to engage his infantry, or to force them back, or the Spartans to come and force them, to fight against them. I think what he's going to try and do is going to try and either grab as much attention from Admiral DB and Lucius at the same time, so that he can, to the other two, probably focus on you. That would be my guess at what he's going to try and do. The commentators from Beast, they'll try to grab the attention of many people and make openings for his teammates in other areas. It's outstanding tactics he uses. Anyway, have you unpaused it?
Yeah,
so I don't want to slip behind.
Let's unpause it.
So unbring it now?
Yeah. So you can see
Unpaused.
Beast is doing exactly that. He's shifting his guys around. I'm getting my guys into a formation at the moment, trying to get ready to take on Mohammed basically, but at the same time Beast is constantly moving his guys around the side, and we're trying to counter that now. I'm using one of my little wings here just to basically marry up right next to Admiral Douchebag, and hopefully we can get into a nice little formation. But Beast is continuing to go around the side, and it looks like Beast is now right in front of Lucius, Cleo right in front of Admiral Douchebag. And now my guys, I'm pretty much strung out against Mohammed. And now Mohammed's coming in for a decent charge here. He's hitting one of my wings. I'm going to try and do a counter charge.
And see how he set it up? See how he set that up to go in wave 2 on one side, a wave 2 in the centre, and then a wave 2 on the other side.
Yeah.
And he's able to have time to get out of this. It was a really nice little set there.
And of course, right behind them, they've got there was companion Cav right in the back. Cleo's ready to assist.
Cleo.
And I'm going in for a charge, but I've only got 5 Praetorian Cavs, so it's hard for me to try and counter all of these cycle charges because I'm just outgunned basically at the moment, and I'm pretty far away from my allies at the moment. In comes Mohammed again with another Cav charge. He's now sending in his infantry. You can see in the background Beast is now sending his cav around to help out. Now in comes the you see the Crescent Archers. They've got their flame attack. My guys are starting to rout. I've got a couple of units routing, 1-2 routing. I'm sending in the rest of my infantry. Here comes Beast.
Can we just pause this?
Yeah, sure.
Can we pause this? I just want to... Yeah. So I want to pause here. For viewers, because there's so much happening here, we don't want to miss things. But you can see an extremely clever move being made by Mo here. You can see the cavalry actions happening over there, and this is having to reinforce with infantry. And at this point, that Admiral DB needs to get his cavalry up here, or Biscuits is going to be in deep trouble. But if we also just look here, just off to the left of Biscuits' formation, you can see Mo is going to push forward where Mo's general is. If you can see that, Biscuits.
Yeah.
He's going to shift his infantry into this gap that's between Biscuits' main force and his wing army that's attached to the side of Admiral DB. And what this is going to do is this is going to cut Biscuits' main army off, being reinforced and supported. All the while that Beast on his flank is tying down Lucius's Greeks, and Cleo's just occupying the center and holding the attention of Admiral D. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to put some pressure down on the right wing with Beast and Cleo holding that area, and they're going to really gun it on his left flank. And basically what's going to happen here is Mohammed's going to cut Biscuits off. He's going to come in this gap here that's open, and he's going to cut Biscuits off, and then they're going to pound them down on Biscuits' army with the cav, and basically destroy this entire wing. And then they'll probably push on to Admiral DB, and they'll roll them up. That's my guess of what's going on here. It's a very good move by Mo. We can unpause there if you want. I'm at 621. If you're just wondering, where are you at? About the same spot.
Hit 6-3 now. And now in comes all this cav, smashing right into my infantry. My infantry is pretty strong. I've got my general, I've got my 1st Legionary cohorts, but there's no way that I can hold up against all of this cav. And there we go.
Cleo and Beast.
Yep, my general is now routed. He's dead. That's it. My army
if you look,
pretty much wiped out.
Yeah. There we go, you just messed around on screen. If you look though, even if it didn't mess around, it would have, because Mo's got like a entrapment coming on from one side of his infantry, and his cav was on the flank there, so that's extremely well executed. They just cut you off from your allies and tag teamed you. It was very well done. So now destroy Biscuits' army. Let's take a look what's happening on the other wing.
So it looks like Beast and Cleo really into defensive formation at the moment. Lucius is trying to push through with all of his armoured hoplites, but armoured hoplites have got a decent defence, but they haven't got a great attack at the end of the day. They are pretty much like a cheap version of a Silver Shield, not Silver Shield, Sacred Band, aren't
Sacred
they?
Band. Yep. Yeah, they're still pretty good, but the problem he's got here is like he was doing okay, but he's never been amassed, and this is going to leave him real vulnerable to Peeler. And once the Urbans into them, they won't do so well. If we look on the other flank here, as you can see, they're mowing down the remains or infantry here. Now Admiral DB, I think Admiral should have got more of Macedon, tried breaking them up, because now Macedon's held him long enough for him to be overwhelmed by the large flanking force coming in from Mo, and their cavalry is just cutting into the flank here, you see, and Mo's going to go right around.
Yeah.
And now Lucius is having to reinforce this. I mean, and the attack in the centre from the armoured hoplites is pushing through, but it will break up, and then the Urbans will get them in the end. So it's been extremely well executed, in my opinion, and Lucius is having to use his Spartans to guard Admiral DB's flank. Admiral should really try and smash the centre of Macedonian forces to try and get some military parity going on here, otherwise it's not going to last all that long. It's pretty much, I think, the writing's on the wall at this stage. There's just too much on that flank for you guys to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, it's pretty much turned into a 3 versus 2. We've been outplayed, been outgunned. Really well played on behalf of Beast, Cleo and Mohammed. Let's have a look at Lucius. His guys are still hanging in there, but they are just slowly routing bit by bit. It's really the Spartans that are going to do all the damage, but the Spartans are kind of isolated, they're on their own. I'll just pause it for now for 2 seconds. I'm on 801 at the moment.
I'm 794, so we're close enough. I'll speed it up to catch up with you.
But we can see that it's just really, Admiral Douchebag. I suppose he could have pulled his infantry back, he could have tried to help out, but the thing is, he's surrounded now on all sides. We've got Mohammed from the rear, we've got Cleo coming in from the front, Mohammed on the side there, and Beast is going to win his battle on this wing. There's still a few cav units that Admiral DB's got, but he's limited in where he can actually send them because Cleo's got all of his pikes in a nice kind of a nice line there, so we can only really use them to attack Mohammed. But Mohammed's got all of his cav right behind, as well as Beast's got his cav. So yeah, any last thoughts before we move on to the last kind of part of the battle there, Elite?
I mean, I think the writing's pretty much on the wall, but I mean, if I had been these guys at this particular point, and I know they're going to lose at this point, Lucius needs to pull back his Spartans and get them into a continuous line, because I mean, the Spartans are very vulnerable if they get sprawled out to being circled, and that's something he doesn't want. But what I think he should do is Admiral should pull back where his general and those two urbans that are next to him, pull it back, and then I think Admiral could make a cav strike against Beast's infantry here and might be able to free some of this flank up, because there's no cav around here, and getting cavalry support to this flank would be reasonable to take a reasonable amount of time. So it's possible, but probably wouldn't count for much, but it might just make the battle last a bit longer, that Admiral might be able to destroy some of Beast's infantry and some of Cleo's infantry on his flank, because there's still enough hoplites to work as an effective anvil here before they get destroyed. It might be able to shift some of the favour on this wing into their advantage, but overall I think the writing's pretty much on the wall at this stage. They've got a cavalry disadvantage, they've got an infantry disadvantage, they're totally out of position. They have been completely outplayed, but I do think a cav strike by Admiral against some of Beast's units, particularly as General, and getting in behind some of these urbans from Beast and some of these rural pikemen might crush this flank if he does a good job. He's still got a lot of cavalry, so I think he could destroy that flank, because I don't think Beast and Mo, Cleo could get their cavalry round to that flank fast enough, because it's not that too far to go for Admiral. So it's possible that Admiral could destroy the right wing of where Beast and Cleo's infantry are. I don't think it would make it would make the battle closer, but I don't think it would change the fate of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, should we pause it?
Yeah. Let's keep it going. There we go. So they're circling around the sides there, coming in. Got more Crescent archers raining fire upon Admiral Douchebag's guys. I think I've got one or two urbans left. I think at this stage I was almost laughing, thinking, oh bugger, I've absolutely ballsed this up, because if I hadn't got separated, I'm not saying we would have won, but I'm hoping we would have at least put up a better fight. So I do apologise to Lucius and Admiral Douchebag, because I felt like I got myself drawn into that fight there with Mohammed. Now in comes Admiral Douchebag. He's charging his cav. He's trying to rout a couple of these royal pikemen, but there's just so much infantry all around here. There's very little they're going to be able to do. And as you can see, Mohammed's now... It's just basically...
Mohammed and Beast trapping him.
Yeah, it's like, you know...
Because...
It's like cracking a nut here. They're both coming in from both sides. It's just devastation on all flanks here.
I think, you know, like you're just talking about before how you got isolated and cut off. And I think the only mistake you really made was just sort of trying to take a little on your very far right wing, trying to fight with Mo. But to be all honesty, I don't really think you made a big mistake. They just positioned themselves so well as to cut you off. It didn't look like it was that obvious at first, but as soon as there was a little gap, they would just bang straight in, and that was, you know, they cut off. That's just absolutely superb tactics. You know, taking advantage of just a little gap like that, going in, cutting them off. That's just so Alexander the Great. You know, the same kind of thing. Taking advantage of any little mistake like that on the battlefield and slipping in and cutting you off from your allies. This is a perfect strategy. As long as you can support it and protect from it, go and do it. You should get a really good result from something like that. That's standard stuff. Very well done by Cleo, Mo, and Beast there. I thought. I think they just dominated the pace of the battle. You know, and I think, you know, able to dictate where it took place. They amassed their cavalry. I think Admiral was too defensive with his cavalry. He didn't do enough with them. Had his cavalry gone to you, I think you might have been able to do something more with that flank. And I think if there'd been maybe a couple of pikes coming in from Lucius to support it, I don't think that flank would have been dropped. But this was making some pretty interesting wide flanking maneuvers on his flank. So I mean, they were really dictating the terms and position of the battle. You guys are probably spending more of your time reacting. And it's the thing, I guess, when you face Titans in the Greek clan, they do that to you. They make it so you spend time reacting to their maneuvers, and they set the pace and the way the battle goes, and it can be very hard to try and keep up with them and try and turn things into your favour. It just ended on my screen. I just got the results.
Yeah. So it's a decent match. It was really interesting to play, but at the end of the day, it was a clear defeat. And if you look at my kills, that's pretty poor. 500 kills. I got absolutely smashed. There's no way of glorifying it. 500 kills is not a great amount to get. Lucius 842, Admiral Douchebag 1214. But the stars of the game at the end of the day was Cleo, Beast, and Mohammed. Beast got 1800 kills. That's astonishing. If I look at the units and see where I got my kills from, it's here and there. I killed about 80 units per unit, I think, but nothing to shout about at the end of the day. So yeah, I was gutted that we lost that. Gutted that we missed out on beating them twice in a row. But yeah, it was a great game, and I really do appreciate the guys doing the rematch against us. So any last thoughts there, Elite, on that epic little battle?
I think, as much as it, sucks to be beaten like that, I think these kind of battles are the best battles in terms of what they teach you. I mean, we saw some really fantastic positioning and team coordination between Leo, Beast, and Mohammed. And the thing is, too, I know that they would have hardly had to talk to each other to do that. They just know what to do because they worked with each other so much, and they know 31k so well and the factions so well. And that's something I think like every clan should strive to get, is to try and get the ability to read the battlefield, to see when things are going to happen, and minimal communication needed with your allies via talking with the game's chatting you. And I believe the Titans and Greek clan have achieved that better than any other clan easily, particularly Titans. They're able to just do this stuff. They can look at where their ally is, look at where their enemy is, and they can make the movement happen without even having to get into communication with their ally. They just know what to do and when to do it, and that gives them an enormous advantage. Why Titans and Greeks are so hard to defeat when they are together on battlefield. It's extremely difficult. And I think, it's just taking our clan for example. I think we've been getting better certainly in that area, but I still really think that's something that we should definitely work on, and I think other clans need to work on too, is getting that ability to be able to read the battlefield, know where your allies are, know where you are, know where your enemy is, and be able to work together without having to go into big long communication typing on the screen. I really think that gives them a massive advantage in their battles.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's almost the ability to read somebody's mind, or read the battlefield when it's the battle's going on. But again, it was a great match on those other guys, and we were outclassed, we were outplayed. And thanks so much for watching, guys, and even bigger thank you to you, Elite, for taking time out again to put together this little replay with me. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Let me know what you thought of this. If you did enjoy it, I might try and bring some more to the channel, but I thought I might spicing up the epic game there for you. So this is Biscuits signing off, wishing you all the best, and I'll catch you guys soon, okay? Bye now.